Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The journey to success often feels like an elusive, far-off dream, something that only happens to the lucky few or the chosen ones. But what if I told you that success isn't determined by luck or chance? What if I told you that you have the power to unlock success in your life, starting with something as simple, yet as profound as rewiring your brain? This idea might sound radical to some, but the science of neuroplasticity is not only real, but it also shows that we can change our brain structure and function throughout our lives. And through this process of rewiring, we can shape our thoughts, our behaviors, and ultimately our reality. We live in a time where we are constantly influenced by external stimuli, by the people around us, by the news, by social media, and by our environments. These external factors create patterns in our brain that dictate how we think, feel, and act. However, these patterns don't have to define us. In fact, they are not even permanent. Our brains are incredibly adaptable. And by harnessing the power of neuroplasticity, we can transform our habits, our mindset, and our ability to achieve success. But first, let's address a question that many of us may be silently asking. Why is it that some people seem to achieve success effortlessly, while others struggle despite their best efforts? The answer lies in the way our brains are wired. The brain is like a network of pathways that carry signals to different areas, allowing us to perform various functions, from thinking and problem solving to managing emotions and making decisions. Over time, as we go through life, we create certain patterns of thought and behavior based on our experiences, our upbringing, and even our environment. These patterns, especially those that we repeat frequently, form what we call neural pathways, essentially, the grooves in the brain that make certain actions and reactions easier and more automatic. For example, if you've been raised in an environment where you were taught that success comes from hard work and persistence, your brain will create neural pathways that support these beliefs and actions. You might find yourself naturally inclined to work hard, stay focused, and persevere in the face of challenges. But here's the thing, not all neural pathways are helpful or constructive. Some of the neural pathways we create, whether due to past trauma, negative experiences, or limiting beliefs, may actually hinder our ability to succeed. For instance, if you grew up in an environment where failure was heavily stigmatized, your brain may have formed neural pathways that cause you to avoid risks and opportunities out of fear of failure. You might hesitate to take bold action, or worse, you might feel stuck in a state of inaction. This is where the power of rewiring comes in. Rewiring your brain for success is about consciously recognizing the old patterns that no longer serve you and replacing them with new, empowering ones. The process involves reshaping the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. It's about understanding that your current reality is not a fixed, unchangeable state, but rather a reflection of the patterns you've built in your brain over time. And with intentional practice, you can reshape these patterns to align with your desired outcomes, whether that's achieving career success, improving your relationships, or reaching your personal goals. The first step in rewiring your brain for success is awareness. You need to become aware of the thoughts and beliefs that are limiting your potential. The brain has a natural tendency to default to old patterns because they are familiar. But just because a thought or belief feels familiar doesn't mean it's true or helpful. So the question becomes, what are the limiting beliefs that you're holding on to? Do you believe you're not good enough? Do you believe success is for others but not for you? Do you believe you're too old, too young, too inexperienced, or too incapable? These beliefs are just thoughts, and thoughts are not facts. They are simply patterns that have been formed over time based on your experiences, your upbringing, and your environment. And the beauty of this is that as human beings, we have the ability to change these patterns. We don't have to accept them as gospel truth, but to do that, we need to develop the practice of mindfulness. By becoming aware of our thoughts, we can interrupt the automatic patterns and begin to create new, more positive ones. The second step in rewiring your brain is to start taking intentional action. The brain is like a muscle, it grows stronger when you use it. And it becomes more adept at whatever you practice. The more you practice positive, empowering thoughts and behaviors, the more your brain will strengthen the neural pathways that support those actions. This is why action is so crucial in rewiring brain for success. It's not enough to just think differently or feel differently. You must back up your new beliefs with consistent, deliberate action. Start by setting small, manageable goals that push you out of your comfort zone. These goals should align with your desired success, but should be achievable enough that they don't overwhelm you. For instance, if you struggled with public speaking and want to be more confident in your career, start by volunteering to speak in small, informal settings. Each time you push yourself to take action, you are reinforcing the new neural pathways in your brain, making success feel more natural and attainable. As you take action, you will inevitably face obstacles. This is where the next step comes in, reframing failure. In our culture, failure is often seen as something to avoid or be ashamed of. But from the perspective of brain science, failure is an essential part of the rewiring process. Every time you fail and learn from it, you are strengthening your brain's ability to problem solve and adapt. The key is to view failure not as a setback, but as feedback. When you encounter challenges, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," reframe your thoughts to something like, "This is an opportunity for growth," or "I'm one step closer to my goal." Reframing failure in this way helps to break the neural pathways that associate failure with defeat, and instead you begin to form new pathways that associate failure with growth, learning, and perseverance. Remember, success is not the absence of failure, it is the ability to keep going in spite of it. The next key to rewiring your brain is to cultivate positive emotions. Our emotions play a powerful role in shaping our brain's neural pathways. Emotions such as gratitude, joy, and excitement can activate areas of the brain that promote growth, learning, and resilience. On the other hand, negative emotions like fear, anger, and sadness can activate areas of the brain associated with stress and shutdown, making it more difficult to think clearly or take positive action. To rewire your brain for success, you must intentionally cultivate positive emotions. Practice gratitude every day, even for the smallest things. When you wake up in the morning, take a few moments to reflect on what you're grateful for. This simple practice activates the brain's reward center and helps create new neural pathways that promote positive thinking and success. Visualization is another powerful tool for cultivating positive emotions. By vividly imagining yourself achieving your goals, you activate the same neural circuits in your brain as if you were actually taking those actions. This helps to reinforce the belief that success is possible and that you are capable of achieving it. Finally, be patient with yourself. Rewiring your brain is not an overnight process. It takes time and consistent effort, but the key is to understand that every small step you take towards success, every new thought you think, every positive action you take is reshaping your brain in a way that aligns with your goals. Over time, these new neural pathways will become stronger and success will begin to feel more natural, more attainable, and more inevitable. The process of rewiring your brain for success is a journey. It requires awareness, action, reframing, positive emotions, and patience, but the results are transformative. You will begin to notice that the limiting beliefs that once held you back are no longer as strong, and new empowering beliefs are taking their place. You will start to take bolder actions, face challenges with greater resilience, and experience success in ways you never thought possible. So, as you move forward in your journey, remember that success is not a distant dream. It's not reserved for a select few. It is available to all of us, and it begins with rewiring our brains. By consciously shaping our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors, we can unlock the success that is already within us. It's time to take control of your brain, rewire it for success, and begin living the life you've always dreamed of. Thank you.